So guys, the moment of truth. I went to the pharmacy yesterday, managed to get some liquid paraffin or mineral oil, food safe. I've made some little stands because this is going to be back. I'm hoping there's enough here. There should be, but it's all they had. I've ordered some more and we'll see what it looks like with oil on it. Then I'll see what I can do with the thing. This is not toxic to your hands or anything. I just like the feel of latex. No, but it's a pain to get off your hands. It's not that I like latex, honest. So, let's see how it looks. And this is quite thick, so I'm going to have to leave it overnight. The joints are showing a bit, and a bit of that there. But like I said, this is the bottom. Hopefully the other side will look a bit better. But either way, it's going to be alright. A couple of bits where I filled there are showing. I took this down to 240. I mean, it had a really good sand. But maybe I should have done filling earlier. Might have to scrape that. That's what worried me with glue, you see, when I filled it. See it? Might just have to scrape that, but I've got enough oil. I'll let that soak in. When I bought that, it reminded me of Brendan's story when he went to buy some. So guys, got to decide what to do with these now. I'm going to have to stick them down to something just because it's end grain, so it's quite brittle for breaking. And like I said, they're going to be difficult to sand as well, to hold down to sand. I'll do them on belt sander and then finish them by hand. But what I'm thinking is sticking them down onto a piece of board like this, just because of that brittleness. And then it's whether to do them square or round. I might go for rounds. If I stick a few down onto a board and then leave them to set. So I've laid them out. I've got the best match I can for gaps. Todd, I was listening. If there are any bad gaps in these, what I'll do, Todd Cole suggested cutting some little thin bits and just putting them in, which might be an option for me. So I was listening, mate. I appreciate that comment. And I'm just putting this tape on these just to try and stop them from drifting apart when I glue them. I'm stretching tape a little bit. And what I'll do is put my other board on top of this board. The reason they're on this board is then I can move it out of the way with the board on top, put the weight on top of it, and that'll be what I can do with these today. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut them round. And you can see nothing. Huh? You guys who use Type Bond, I can't get Type Bond here in Switzerland, so this is just normal white wood glue. Next time I go to Germany, I'll see what they've got available in their glue section, because there's stuff in Switzerland you can't get what you can get in the rest of Europe. Like a little island inside Europe. Thank God we're not part of Europe though. Obviously using the universal spatula. What I'll do is I'll just rip these off on bandsaw after. Don't be shy with glue. A little bit of juggling. And that's on top of that. That's on top of that. That's the beauty of that. As you can see, I pulled that other cupboard out, reorganised a bit. That means that and that can go in there. Still got to do table for that jointer. that's what's left of that table. But there's some good wood in there. This is soaked in quite quick, and I'm just going to make myself a small scraper. This is just a bit of galvanised steel plate, and hopefully I'll be able to fashion myself a scraper. What I'll do is that's straightish, or that's the straightest edge. I'll put it in clamp, file it, and then put a burr on it and see if that'll do it. It looks quite deep inside that. I don't know why. There was might be some pull out in grain, but we'll see if I can get it out. I can't sand it because of oil, you know. We'll see. Right then, I've got burr on it. See if it'll do what it's meant to do. I'm not taking a lot off, all I'm doing is trying to get that mark out of it. Put another burr on it. So scraped it and give it another blast with some 240. I'm not bothered about underside, because underside's got, oh, that one's gone, funnily enough. Don't bugger me. That one seems to have gone. But I'll put some more oil on it. We'll see how we go. Marked it there, have I? Shouldn't have. I mean, that's the problem with sanding it, but hopefully I've got it. Yep, that's got it. And like I said, what I'll do, I've got some linseed and wax paste, what I made for, well, I do all sorts with it, for wood and leather. I'm a lot happier with that. It pulls victory from the jaws of defeat. Loads better. So chaps, it's the next day, and chapesses. I'm going to sand them on the old belt sander there. I'll try them on that first, but I'm leaving them on wood. I can either separate them, or I was thinking of separating it and making a jig for the bandsaw, but then I had another thought. What I might do is cut a template with a hole saw, because the hole saw's got a drill in the middle. I'll cut a separate piece of the template and use that as a guide to drill them round, rather than cut them on bandsaw. Because bandsaw works, but if you're just a little bit off, then you get a bit of a spiral and they don't come out perfectly round. So I think I'm going to attempt that, but first I'll take them to the sander. This is where I am. These are only sanded down to 80 at the minute. I'm going to go over them 120 and 240, but they're not fantastic and there's a schoolboy error. But it would just be wood I had left and I thought I'd try it. I'm still trying it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them out with an hole saw. I could, like I said, I could make a jig, circle jig for bandsaw. But I'm going to try one with hole saw first. What I'll do is I'll cut a hole in that, because obviously this has got a drilling middle to centre it. I'll cut a hole in that and then use that as a template to guide that. And I'll have to screw it down. But if I do it on bandsaw, they don't always come out perfect, and I ain't got many chances with these. You know what I mean? If I do it with that, it's going to come out with a circle every time. Although it might be difficult with it being this end grain, because it's a right pain to sand. So that'll be my guide. What I'll do is find the best bit I like. ain't got a lot of wood to play with. These are 70mm, I think, 60, yeah, 70mm. Oh, it's 80mm. It's bigger than I thought that. That's also not bad. Bigger is better, sometimes. As long as I've got enough wood, I'll be alright. Aha! Take the screw out. Take the thing out. That could have been nasty. I'm going to need a powerful drill or a sharper bit. Or both. That took some doing. That ingrain is a right nightmare. I'll try finishing one, see what happens. So I found if I got it started and then took that off, it worked out a lot better. It weren't getting as hot. So we're cooking on gas. Maybe. I got 6. They were hard work. I think that I think this might it'll cut plasterboard probably still, but nothing much else. Now I've got is these white bottoms. Now, yeah, they look a bit like what them biscuits. You tell me and I'll tell you. I've got a little bit of stain. And what I'm thinking of doing is just dipping them, and I'll let them dry, and then I'll put oil on them. I still might end up putting some cook bottoms on them or something like that. Steve Digwell Greenfingers mentioned that. This base, we just basically take all this stuff together with it being end grain, you see. I'll find some stain. I've just tested a bit on there. I'll leave them white. Let's get some oil on these and see what they look like. I'll show you after. So guys, I'll call that. That one's got a bit of a gap in it. When I put some wax on it, it'll probably hide that a bit. It might not, but I'm not too bothered, to be honest. I'm quite pleased how they come out. It'll be alright. That turned out a lot better than I thought it would. If I would do it again, it would be nice to have a drum sander or a 10-inch planer. I'm not bothered about them because they were just bits of wood what I had left. That joint, oh, it's still wet. That's why it looks bad. It's because there's still oil wet in it. Because I've basically just oiled them. I did mention a skull by error. I lost my pattern. I went from herringbone to brick. Herringbone, brick, because I put the other pieces the wrong way around. But yeah, don't forget, drop a comment in, thumbs up or a thumbs down, and it's always nice to be nice.